So, we are nearly at the end of the year. We are midway through October. It's almost spooky time, almost Halloween time. Then it'll be Thanksgiving. Then it'll be Christmas. Then it'll be the end of the year, and we'll have all our beautiful end of the year lists. And can you believe it, 2025, GTA 6 year. You all know you're excited for it. So I wanted to start this new type of video that I'd probably make once a month. I don't want to set like a schedule for it, just to do every now and then where I break down some new movie trailers that are exciting to me and let you know about some movies that are coming out soon or relatively soon. Movies that are just caught my eye or TV shows. So let's jump into it. The first trailer I want to talk about is this brand new movie coming from Oz Perkins. Oz Perkins, who is the director from Long Legs. Long Legs, a film that you either absolutely love it, you think it is a horror classic, one of the best horror movies of 2024, or you felt a little bit underwhelmed. I was part of the former. I absolutely loved Long Legs. I thought it was an incredibly unique and inventive horror movie with great filmmaking, incredible cinematography, and just a really off-putting story. Well, his next film is coming out very soon. I believe it's coming out in February. And it's called The Monkey, which is going to be an adaptation of a Stephen King story, and the trailer that we've gotten recently was extremely surprising in how different the film is actually looking towards what I was expecting it to be. I expected this to be kind of a Long Leg style horror film in the same tone and vein of that. This trailer, though, it seems more like it's going to be kind of like a rompy comedy. Like, it's definitely horror. It definitely has scares and gore and violence. It's definitely still a horror movie, but there's almost a weird fun element to this trailer that's so campy and kind of crazy. I am so here for this. This is one of my favorite horror trailers of the year. This looks absolutely stunning and incredible, and I'm not very familiar with the Stephen King story, but it has something to do with this monkey, this clapping monkey that is haunted, and people die because of it. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a crazy concept, right? But the film stars Theo Janes. I believe Elijah Wood is also in this. And yeah, Oz Perkins is a director and a filmmaker that I just trust at this point after Long Legs. And this trailer absolutely sold me. I'm excited for this, and I can't believe it comes out so soon. It's coming out in February, so we will get an early movie in 2025 that'll hopefully break the spell of the first couple months of years usually have terrible movies. Maybe this time we will get one of the year's best films in February. Or maybe it'll disappoint. We'll see. We also got to look at this brand new movie from Joe and Anthony Russo. Of course, the guys that directed the Avengers Endgame and Avengers Infinity War movies. They are also directing the next big Avengers films. They are the Avengers guys. They haven't really done anything significant outside of that, but this is a film they've been working on for years. I believe this filmed a few years back. I'm talking about The Electric State. I think it's also an adaptation of a novel, but I could be wrong. This is one of the most expensive films ever made. It's a film that Netflix has spent over $300 million on. It is a big swing. I've been hearing about this film for years, that the post-production is absolutely insane on it, and the film stars Millie Bobby Brown and Chris Pratt, and it's about some sort of AI robotic future where the robots are taking over, and yeah, it's your typical AI movie. This trailer looks big and epic, and the visuals look like the movie cost $300 million, but to be completely honest with you, this looked a little bit more generic than I was hoping for. I was really hoping for some kind of expansive filmmaking and something that truly earned this sort of budget number, but instead this kind of looked like a typical Marvel blockbuster in a weird way. It looked like a Joe and Anthony Russo movie, which might not be a bad thing for a lot of people, but for me, I was just, based on the set pictures I had seen and other things I had heard about this, I was just expecting something more from this trailer, and to be honest, I just am not that interested in this. I also don't think Millie Bobby Brown looks like she's really acting her butt off in this trailer. Let's just put it that way, in the nicest way possible. But yeah, you know what? I'll be interested. I'll be seated when this comes out. This one's been in the making for a long, long time. It's kind of Joe and Anthony Russo's big non-Marvel swing that they've taken. We'll see how it turns out. We also got a new look at Gladiator II, and this is one that's coming out really, really soon, so I can kind of talk about it. I'm not going to go too into it just because I will have a review out for it in a few weeks when the film comes out. I've heard some good word-of-mouth stuff on Gladiator II, and these trailers do look epic. Now, Ridley Scott's been kind of hit or miss over the last few years because he's at an older age and, you know, mortality. He's been sort of making movies at an extremely fast pace, and because of that fast pace, some of the movies have lacked in quality because he's going through them so fast. He had just released Napoleon a year ago. The year before, he had released The House of Gucci and The Last Duel, two massive movies. And these are movies that are not terrible, but a lot of them have just issues in quality. And because of that, Gladiator II, a movie that in a sequel that I don't think we need, it worries me. I've always been worried about this film and the idea of it. The same way Joker 2. It's like we just got a sequel that nobody thought we needed, and it ended up being horrible, so hopefully Gladiator 2 wouldn't be the same. But these trailers look epic and awesome. This movie is massive in scale, and the actors all look like they're bringing their A-game, between Paul Mescal, of course, and Denzel Washington, and Pedro Pascal, who seems to be playing some kind of bad guy in this film. This just looks absolutely epic, and I hope it lives up to some of the early reactions we've gotten for this. And apparently there might be a third one, so hopefully it makes money, hopefully it's great, and we'll get a Gladiator trilogy and nobody ever knew we needed. We also got a new look at this incredibly new and kind of interesting fantasy film called The Legend of Ochi. This is from director Isaiah Saxton, I think is his name. I don't believe he's made a film before, so this is his first, his feature debut. And my god, I don't know what this film is story-wise, but visually speaking, these shots in this trailer are unbelievable. This is like a Wes Anderson fantasy movie with an incredible cast that has Emily Watson, that has Willem Dafoe, Finn Wolfhard's in here. This just looks stunning. This looks like an A24 movie through and through, and this trailer really caught my eye. I don't know what this movie's actually going to be, what it's truly going to be about. It looks a little campy, a little fun, a little childlike, but we're in need of stuff like this. Some really good original fantasy-type filmmaking. This looks beautiful. This is coming out in 2025. Last but not least, we got our first look at Juror number 2. This is going to be the final film from legendary writer-director Clint Eastwood. And if you're asking, why is Clint Eastwood retiring? Why is he not making films after this? Well, because he's like 90-something years old, and yeah, not much life left, unfortunately. This is probably his last movie, though, and it's about this jury and this trial where this guy who's on this jury realizes he might actually be the person that had killed the person that the person on trial is being accused of murdering. It's a bad way of explaining it, but it's the basic premise of the movie, and this trailer looks incredible. Nicholas Hoult is the lead of this film, and this concept, just from the start, it's so kind of silly, but overly dramatic that it might actually work, and Clint Eastwood is really good at making movies like that, movies that kind of have silly concepts, but are overly dramatic and overly just kind of crowd-pleasing. And because of that, he makes a lot of movies that, although maybe critics won't love them, they tend to be pretty successful with general audiences, and I find them to be genuinely entertaining, at least his newer stuff. Of course, back in the day, Clint Eastwood used to make us some really dark and brutal Oscar-y stuff. I don't know if this is going to be that, but this trailer looks good. It looks like a great Clint Eastwood movie. Nicholas Hoult, Toni Collette is here, and yeah, I'm excited for this. I believe this comes out soon. The release on Google saying late October of this month, so we'll be watching this in a few weeks, which is crazy to think about. But yeah, Juror number 2. Put that on your radar. So these are just some movies that have caught my eye. I'm going to try to make a video like this once a month just to talk about some stuff that's coming. Just stuff that I'm interested in, not like a rundown of like, this is everything coming out this month, and 90% of it I'm not going to watch. Which is like what your typical content creators do. Not calling anybody out. Or to be fair, some of them do watch the content, except they don't really watch it. They just make a review. I just watched this 20-hour TV show, and here's my review. And then they give like a 10-second review of it. They didn't watch any of it. They just want the views. What am I talking about? Why am I talking shit about YouTubers? I'm sorry, I'm not calling anybody out. Here we don't watch bad TV shows and bad movies just for views. Except for Joker 2. I did make like 4 videos on that movie, so I'm a little bit guilty there. I did see the movie though, so there's... But I didn't make a video on The Rings of Power because I didn't watch The Rings of Power, and I'm not gonna watch The Rings of Power, so yeah. Lost views. Could be getting views if I just pretend to watch the show, but not gonna do it. I'm an honest YouTuber. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe for more notifications. I post every single day. Haven't missed one in months, so please stick around. I'll see you in the next one.